Welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about all kinds of edible things as well as tropical and subtropical plants I'm into. And I've developed this little food forest paradise in my small suburban backyard over time. And the reason I have this channel is to really help everybody know they could do the same thing. Try to inspire folks. So pretty simple. Today, we're going to first of all let the chickens out. We had to let them out a little bit late because we had some storms passing through. We actually have a hurricane just to the left of me in the Gulf of Mexico. We are on the east coast of Florida, so not too bad. Look what I have here, folks. These are drumstick fruit. In other words, moringa tree fruit. And I also have flamboyant tree seeds. And these are a couple things that I got from a friend yesterday. And I thought I would show them on the show. But the first thing we need to do is get these chickens, these sweet Saturday morning hens. Oh, listen to that. They are not used to this amount of time in the coop. This is way late. It's 11 o'clock East Coast time, so they're fine though. I put in fresh bedding last night, and I also know that it's been super windy, so they get lots of airflow. You know, if you have chickens in Florida, you need to be sensitive to the fact they could get too hot or they could get eaten. But the eaten part we've got figured out, and no predator around here is getting through this Fort Knox, so they are well protected. Look, she's... Oh, you sweet little hen. Look at you. Aren't you beautiful? All right, let's let out the girls. Here we go. Who let the chickens out? Chicken parade. Yeah, they're eager to get out. You see, the interesting thing is when they turn their head like that, they're actually looking at you, right? Because they don't have forward vision. So the chicken has to turn his head to the side to look at you. So when they do that, they're looking at you. See? It's really cool. Oh, look at these girls. Okay, they're ready to spread their wings. So what are typical chicken behaviors? They know exactly what's about to happen. These are the sweetest little hens in the land. And they are eager to get out. And we have a little ritual that I use just to keep it super chicken whisperer style. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look at how gentle they are. The cool thing with the chicken is, like, I just put this shut. It can easily be pushed open. They don't try to push it open. If they did, it would be by accident. They can't really, they don't do that. All right, so let's make this free here. Okay, good. Can I have this out? Because I think it might rain again later, and I want them to have plenty of foraging time. There you are. There you are. Spread those wings. There you go. They left back. We're back. I always forget to do that. Okay, come on. And I usually do give them time just to water, just to slowly get back in there. Let's keep everybody in a mellow state of mind. Now, normally one of them will jump up on that roosting bar there. It's usually one of the golden birds. The golden retrievers of chickens. All right, and let's get this hooked on there. Thank you. Very sweet hens. All right, and I like to, they know what's coming next. That's why they're all still waiting at the front. Like, geez, you made me rest in that coop all morning. Hey, LaFrance, you got a white dragon fruit. Bigger than your head. Holy mackerel. So it's the white dragon fruit, is that the yellow or the red skinned? Or some other variety? That's really cool. I was actually just looking at dragon fruit plants over at a local nursery. Red skin with the white, and oh, that's the one I want. All right, let's give him some of these black fly soldier larvae. white and pink inside, yeah. I would love to get the remaining 2 varieties of dragon fruit that I don't have. Super cool. If you can get a bunch of them, you know, like make a dragon fruit clump, dragon fruit cactus clump, you just put as many cuttings as you can in one area. I think it's possible to get a decent amount of fruit from dragon fruit doing it that way. Otherwise, you're kind of waiting for the sacred fruit to occur. Well, there they go. They are all set. All right, so let's take a look what we got here. And I think we're going to plant them too. It's really a seller in Miami, LaFrance says, that sells hundreds of varieties. That's cool. Well, I need to check that out. I just realized my dragon fruit knowledge is fairly weak. I need to fix that. All right, so here we are. The old Moringa fruit. Let's see what we got here. There it is. Yeah, these are ready. And what I'm going to try to do with these is just plant them. Well, I was going to plant them in the shell here, but now as I look at this, I think maybe I'll dry them a bit. They are fairly wet. They're not moldy. So, Spanish limes, I haven't tried. No. I'm going to take these and put them right in with the chickens. I bet you they'll peck at that inside of those pods. They certainly love the fruit. And then this one looks like it's about ready. Drumstick fruit. You can eat these seeds, of course. I'm going to collect up these seeds. Yeah, you could grow a whole Moringa forest with just what we have here. Nice. Now, I always remove the shells on these Moringa seeds before planting them. These two look like they could go just a little longer in terms of drying out, so I think we're going to leave them in the pod. It's over on the... But this certainly is a candidate for the chickens. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I think they like it. Now they'll eat a lot of things like this when you hold it in your hand, I think because they can get leverage with their beaks on it. And certainly mulberry leaf's a good example of that. Yeah, just about anything you put in there compost-wise, as it breaks down, they'll peck at it. But let's pick a mulberry leaf. Let's pick a really nice one. A couple of them. Let's go with these. Pretty nice. A few mulberry leaves. This is one of their favorite treats. Here you go, chickies. Everything loves mulberry leaves, including me. If you ever eat the tip of a mulberry tree, you'll find out that it tastes a lot like lima beans. It makes a great salad. It's very nutritious. People make tea out of the leaves. And, you know, the chickens will tell you right away. Here, get some. Oh, gee whiz. You sound like a pterodactyl or a Tyrannosaurus rex. Chickens are reptiles. They're little dinosaurs. That's why Justin Rhodes always calls them sea monsters. We actually named one of our barred rock hens Sally the Sea Monster. That's Sally. And that's Ponzi. That's our top hen. You always have a top hen. You can tell the others just kind of stick around the perimeter. That's why you have to make sure we give some to those birds. But yeah, the other hen comes over. They know to mind their manners. There's definite pecking order. And this is 1 and 2. Yeah, once I put them down there, they'll peck at them, but it won't be as much. There you go. A chicken with a mulberry coat on. Only on Eat Your Backyard. Hey SR1, welcome aboard. Good morning. Hope your Saturday's starting off well. I think we're planning on spending some beach time. We got a little bit of surf rolling in, and take advantage of it. Yeah, so those are the Moringa seeds, but the other thing was the flamboyant tree, the Poinciana tree seeds. And I found some of these. Now these grow, actually, I had a couple of viewers say that they've grown them easily from seeds, so I'm stoked on that. I think I'm going to plant these right now. So let's see what they look like. I might have to I'll put the camera down. Okay. I've never tried to grow these before. And the bean itself is this bright red, like almost magenta, kind of cool color. It's really cool. It looks like red leather. I don't want the seeds to be jumping all over the place. So let's see if I can come up with a way to shimmy this open. There we go. Okay. Now, initial indications are the seeds look good. Looks like maybe we have a couple of duds, but these look fresh. I've seen these before where they're all eaten up and the seeds look like they were all dead, but I can see on this one, some look like they're dead, some look like they're alive. So I'm just going to keep the alive ones. Those will be the ones that we plant. The rest of this stuff we'll put back in the forest. But I love planting new things. All right, so that's that one. We'll take a couple out of this one too. Now these trees get huge. So do I know what I'm going to do with these once I grow them? No, I have no idea. Probably give them away or that type of thing. I like to give trees away to friends and things. That's always fun. We used to have like little fruit tree sales and stuff from time to time. Like I'd grow 20 or 30 pots of bamboo and then we'd put it out for like a yard sale. And that's fun to do too. You know, just kind of a way to fund the habit, so to speak, of purchasing fruit trees at the nursery, which can start to add up. Whoa. It's like we got some low flyers. Okay, so we're gonna put this in there too, into the chicken pen. Okay, chickie doos. I don't know if this is edible, but I think it's too hard to eat anyway, so we'll just throw it in there. Very nice, very nice. They'll start scratching and pecking and getting the bugs underneath the thing. But now we have 2 types of seeds. Oh, what fun. What an adventure. The Moringa and the Royal Poinciana, aka flamboyant tree. If you've ever seen a flamboyant tree, you know they are very flamboyant. I mean, they're super red and they've got the most odd flower. It's like a really cool looking hibiscus where one of the petals is a different color. It's got this design on it. It's almost the kind of flower where you think it looks artificial, is how interesting and novel the thing looks. But I think those are healthy seeds. I'm gonna take these. I'm just gonna position them on the table over here. All right. Yeah, the Robellini seeds are next. All right, this dirty old table, I need to paint it for sure. But I'm just gonna take, how many seeds can you do? I'm gonna plant a bunch of them in each pot, so might as well just take them all. I'm certainly not gonna save them. So why not see how they grow? All right. Oh, sorry, I missed the last comment. I'll go back to it here in a sec. All right, let's see what we got. Now I have two different types of soil I could plant these in. Oh, by the way, shout out to my buddy Brian, who actually gave me a hot pepper plant here, Dado hot pepper. Got a hot pepper on it. We're gonna grill those with butter once it gets cranking. All right, so here we have it. Pre-positioned pots full of just this. All right, let's see. I think I'll do, how many do I have here? More than enough. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna try to so we get the better quality signal so it's not so spotty. Just cut out, sorry about that. Okay, so we put 2 in each one of these pots. Let's put 2 in this pot. Put 2 more in this pot. And then I'm gonna do some in another kind of soil that I've concocted, which is, and I'm not gonna put 2 in this. I'm gonna keep those to the side. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put 2 of those moringa seeds in there now that I see it. This is just sandy soil with uncomposted chicken manure and bunny manure in it, and I wanted to see if anything will grow in it. The first thing I tried to see would grow in it was moringa trees, and no, it didn't grow in it. So it's very dense. It's nothing like the other ones. I'm just going to put 1 in here, just very shallow. And this one, as a matter of fact, this one I'm just going to put just slightly under the surface because it's so dense. I think the seeds have a hard time pushing up through it, to be honest. So there you go. Those are all Royal Poinciana. I've got 2 control groups. One is the dense sandy mix with the manures in it. The other is just the straight out of the, the potting soil, flower potting soil mix. And I would put a much higher chance on this stuff, but I'm interested if I can start to use this for any particular applications. All right, I'm gonna go get a couple of those seeds too. A couple of those moringa seeds. Let's get a couple of those in those pots, just because I have those 2 pots, those 2 or 3 pots already there. Now I feel as if this is almost 100% certain to grow these, and I'm actually gonna put 3 in each. So there you are. We'll process those and get them growing. I have gone a bit nuts growing moringa. I love it, so why not? What I'm going to do is use these 2 pots because it's got the potting soil in it. But the first thing is to get this shell off the outside, and good, that came off very easily. I always do this. Just take the shell off. That's how you get the shell. You just kind of chip it with your thumbnail, until it opens, just like that. Now, you don't need to worry about giving these trees a lot of space, the moringas. Commercially, they grow them a foot apart. When they grow this stuff for the leaves, etc., they grow it a foot apart. So they can really be densely planted. And in fact, I'll show you a couple I've got growing together here, how they're doing. If you're not new to the channel, you've seen these before, but they keep growing faster and faster. I think they're really kicking in, and a couple of them are going to be double seed deals. Oh, it looks like I killed that one, so I'm just going to leave that one for the squirrels. Yeah, they're a little bit soft. On the inside, probably great for eating. I should eat one. I'll take this one out. And these are easy to come by the way. You can get the snack ones off of Amazon and be ready to go right away. So I'm going to plant 3. Well, it looks like just 2 in that one. But that's fine. All right, so this one, again, just about 1 inch deep. I know these don't need to be planted very deeply or very need much help. I'm going to also take these, and I think I'll put them up in the grow table just so that I don't mix them up with that other stuff. And we'll also take a look at how the grow table's doing. Okay, lots of updates on the grow table. I'm stoked. All right, so this, though, I think I'll put this in here. It's almost fall, and fall is the time for growing vegetables in Florida. If you're living in Florida, you should start the vegetable process right now. Granted, a hurricane may wipe it out completely, but that never stopped us. Look at this moringa, another one just grown from a seed. The Roselle, which I planted, is doing quite well. I noticed that out of the pots I planted, most of them sprouted. I expected them all to grow. But you can see the Roselle is just doing very well. I'm excited about that. So I've got 6 Roselle plants ready to plant. And then I also planted a bunch of Moringa from the dried seeds I got off Amazon. By the way, if you want to support the channel, please use the links in any of the videos for Eat Your Backyard. That supports us, and it's super easy. By the way, you can leave a comment to let us know what you grabbed on Amazon, which is pretty cool thing to do. All right. So this is a Moringa sprout, and this is about 5 days after planting. You can see it's already vigorously jumping up. I can see, let's see what else is happening here. Oh yeah, there's another one. Here's another one, just peeking up. Nothing here yet, but almost all of the ones I planted have already sprouted, so stoked on that. These tamarind trees continue to do well. I'm also loving that, grown from seeds. It's good, now we'll have some more moringa. The other thing was I planted a bunch of mulberry trees. I'm really committed to expanding the mulberry grove. I've done this before, and well, this is the time to do it now. So I have a bunch of ever-bearing mulberries that have grown here. This is about the easiest plant possible to reproduce, but they're all doing well. Every single one of these that I planted is doing well. This is actually 2 Persian mulberry trees, which are large-leafed mulberry trees that I love. The fruit is far superior to the ever-bearing, and those are doing well. I can tell that the buds on the cuttings are already kind of swelling up and getting ready to move out. So I'll have more mulberry trees than I know what to do with in short order. You can see the star fruit is doing quite well this time of year. I actually took some of it and planted it in the ground, and that is the commitment to the star fruit, meaning that, you know, it's now in a competition with the cold temperatures, because if it gets down in the 40s, that thing will get fried. And so that could happen in January, maybe sooner, in Florida, and where I am. So they're off and running. They got a fighting chance. And here's a moringa, again, one that I planted 2 in a pot. You can see there's one here and one here, two trees, and doing quite well. Just growing in sand and thriving. Yeah, so we're moringa crazy. We're even growing them in the shade, and this is a permaculture principle, which is to grow things all over the place. Okay, yeah, I'll put a link to the moringa seeds. Sorry. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I need to update all those links and also provide a thing like, hey, just click here to get to Amazon. So if you use any of the links that I have in there to get to Amazon, then just type in moringa seeds, but I'll give a link to the specific type I use for this. And I think it was like, it's like $8, $10, something like that. And every bit of these moringas that I've got growing here came from that. Is moringa native? It looks familiar. No, I don't think it is. I don't know the origins on it, to be honest, but now I'm curious. And that you said that, I need to find out. But I think in some areas it's considered to be invasive. I could see why it might be, but I don't. That's not the case here at all. I mean, because it doesn't do well in the cold weather. So, but yeah, this is just one of those must-have pioneer trees, which I haven't had all these years doing this in my backyard, and I finally found out about it. And this and the Roselle at the same time, as well as the pigeon pea, and that's been a game changer in terms of producing a yield. You know, pretty soon I'm going to be able to come through and just pick these leaves. They grow like crazy. Once this one is actually planted right near a high voltage power line above it, but that's not a problem because the moringa, if you trim it, I'm going to keep this trimmed very low. You want to promote a lot of low branch growth, so you almost kind of turn it into a shrub. And then harvest these leaves, pop them in the dehydrator, and you're making tea. You're making a multivitamin. And I think I'm going to start using that as my multivitamin. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, I hate to admit. I'm already halfway to 100. So I think a little fertilizer for me wouldn't be such a bad idea, and I don't like the idea of taking a pill. So, and I mean, if I have to, I will, but I just would much rather drink some Moringa tea. I was watching a video, and there's this older lady that was claiming, and she was like 110 years old, and she said her trick to living that long, and she was healthy and vibrant, like she could, amazingly, amazing cognitive kind of ability demonstrated in the way she was communicating. It's like, wow, I'd love to be like 110 in that condition. And she claimed it was the Moringa tea, the longevity tree, I think is what they call it, where she was from. So, makes sense. Sure makes sense. I always wonder if I take a multivitamin, if it even does anything, but like, you're chewing on one of these. Hey, Flatjacks, good to see you. It's all good. That's what's good. It's all good. What's the alternative? My Stoic philosophy is serving me well, friends. I would say in times like these, which is like times like any time ever, you need a good philosophy. And I would recommend Stoicism as a place to start. If you haven't looked into that, it's one of the initial philosophies of classic Greece. Yeah, the Moringa have fruit. Yeah, Flatjacks, you didn't know it had fruit. Yeah, it's actually called the drumstick tree, and it produces beautiful white flower clusters prior to producing the drumsticks, which are something like a long bean. And I shelled one open here at the beginning and got the seeds from them. But yeah, those drumsticks are great to eat, the seeds, but they're also really good for the leaves to make teas. Or I would claim, I'm going to dehydrate these in my dehydrator. You can just tie them up, but yeah, if you can get, by the way, if you can get access to a drumstick, to one of the drumsticks in your area, do that. Don't buy it on Amazon, because, yeah. Hey, Joe Serrano, welcome. Stoked you made it on the live stream as well. Greetings. Yeah, this is beautiful morning, man. I mean, got to try hard to complain. Got to get real abstract, because what's happening in the here and now right under my feet, there it is. Firm ground. The earth keeps holding me up. Yeah. Oh, totally. Flatjacks. Yeah. Just buy a Moringa tree. I actually saw some at a local nursery, and they were like $8 a tree. And the tree was about, it wasn't as big as this, but it would be this in a month from planting it probably. So yeah, they're usually pretty inexpensive. But of course, if you buy one that's been grown in the pot for a while, it'll be more expensive. I do that too. I just like, I'm just going to buy a big one because I just want the instant gratification, or to gratification more quickly. I did that with this Jamaican cherry tree. Oh, I love the comments, Flatjacks. Don't be sorry for the comments. Keep commenting. I love it when people are, active in the stream, because that's the most fun part for me, personally. But yeah, I purchased this Montingia tree, a Jamaican cherry cotton candy tree, aka a lot of other names. It's just wonderful. I get this close to this tree, and I'm gonna smell. It smells so good. This is another one to dry the leaves. Maybe I'll dehydrate some of these leaves tonight and make a tea. I need to start getting into tea making. I don't know if you guys are also feeling that, but tea making seems like a good idea. There are a lot of compounds and minerals and things in here. Yeah, man, definitely like-minded. There are a lot of cool things that are happening in this yard that are, in the leaves. So I'd like to start making teas, and I think we could already make an interesting blend of a tea. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Why not? Throw these bad boys in the dehydrator. I got some pineapples cooking in that dehydrator right now. And by the way, if you've never, and I've been saying this for the last month or so, but I just want to get the word out to the universe in general, which is, if you have not dehydrated a fresh, ripe pineapple, put that on your bucket list. Put it on the bucket list. definitely do that, because that is, I'm going to say it made my top 5 favorite foods instantly. It might even be in the top 3. I mean, it's that good for pineapple dehydrated. It's nothing like what I had for dehydrated pineapples up to that point, which I realized were probably, and this is what some folks do. I saw a couple cool channels where they're doing stuff like this, but I don't think it would be very good personally, but where they would take canned fruit and then dehydrate the canned fruit. So there's like a can of, canned pineapples, Dole canned pineapples, and you strain them out, and then you just put them in the dehydrator. And that is, I think, what I had before, which is canned fruit that was dehydrated, which always tasted kind of gross to me because it's got all that, wasn't that good. And but man, the dried fresh pineapple is like tart and super chewy, like a leathery chewy, like a fruit roll-up. Oh man, it's next level. I'm telling you, folks, if you can treat yourself like someone you like, put a dried pineapple in that guy or girl. But yeah, I got those cooking in there, but I'm going to start getting into the leaves of these plants and make some teas, make some tea blends. I'm going to be blending up a witch's brew. Probably going to taste about like drinking out of an old shoe. If you've never drank out of an old shoe, then you probably don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not afraid to admit I have. And it builds character. But there is a, what's that place? Three Natives, that restaurant or little to-go place. I think it's a chain. Anyway, I like that spot. They got pretty healthy food, generally speaking. I always feel good after eating there. So it's like one of those places that I like to go if I have the opportunity. And they have fruit juice, juicing stuff there, and where they'll juice, all kinds of vegetables like radishes and carrots, and some of them taste absolutely nasty, in my opinion. And those are my favorite ones. I have drank those juiced concoctions there. Yeah, from Three Natives, right? Fletch. Yeah. Oh yeah, their wraps are sick. The curry chicken wrap. Oh man, now I'm hungry. But anyway, maybe I'll just go there and drink one of their juices, because but it's expensive. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's like $7 or something for a one thing. So it's a real luxury item in my opinion. But they're putting in all these fresh vegetables. I've gone there and drank those and felt like instant burst of energy, which makes me wonder if there's caffeine in it also. I'm a skeptic. Gotta be a skeptic. Just saying. But maybe it was that there's just so much nutrients. It's like straight to the dome health, which, I could use all that I can get. Oh, by the way, I want to share with the folks on the stream right now that something really cool that's improved my life dramatically lately, and that is access to an information stream coming from the Dr. Andrew Huberman. Dr. Andrew Huberman. He is a neuroscientist from Stanford University. He conducts clinical studies on neuroscience, related to neuroscience, specifically related to fear and the mechanisms that play in the mind when fear occurs and how the mind works. And he tries to give people practical tools and techniques based on the physiology that underlies it, based on what they know from data, in order to help you improve your life. So long story short, it's helpful to know how your body works. How's your brain working right now? You ever think about that? I've been thinking about that. Thanks, Dr. Andrew Huberman. Well, your brain is basically cells which communicate by the release of chemicals. There are gaps between the cells, and they release chemicals, and it's this very complex dance of chemicals in your brain that are at play, but it's all chemicals. It is all chemicals. So you're putting in Miss Kathy's. Yeah, if you're putting in stuff like this into your system, I believe your chemicals are going to be on point. All right, Yeah. Yeah, Miss Kathy's in Central Florida. I don't know Miss Kathy. I want to know Miss Kathy. Miss Kathy's got a food forest. I already like her. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Thanks. But yeah, once we get into the teas, we just don't know where these roads lead, right? You know, as you just move towards an ideal, like move towards an idea, move towards something you're naturally attracted to, like permaculture, like, you know, that kind of thing, like individual wellness and strength, personal strength, so that you can be a help to your community and the people around you and your family when they need it. Like, we're no good to anybody if we're lying on the floor when our friends and family need us. So part of this is, you know, to be selfless, you must be selfish. Living Miracle Homestead. Excellent. I'm going to go check that out. I'm stoked. Thanks for the... Oh, Flatjacks, you are asking the perfect question. Do we have the cranberry hibiscus, aka Roselle? Some say Roselle, some say Rosella. I say, yes, I do have it. And as a matter of fact, I've got some growing. Here. We experienced a bit of a situation, which is that our chickens quickly discovered they loved Roselle, which, by the way, this, I'm going to eat one of these leaves. Let's get a big one that's relatively small. And you can see the reddishness in the, sorry, I'm going to get into the shade. There's two different kinds of Roselle. I did not know that. I wonder which kind I have. But you can see the redness in it. Yeah, now these are zesty. They make a great salad. I think you could probably make tea out of them as well. I'm gonna try it. Wow, that's good. Wow, that is good. If you've ever eaten sweet clover, like wild sweet clover, it has that like that same kind of flavor. Very zesty, very pleasant. It actually, when you chew on it, it's a lot like a lettuce. You know, it's not fibrous in a way that it's unpleasant to chew on. So I'm gonna eat the rest of this. Man, it's better down towards the stem too. Even more zesty, like a tartness, like a Sour Patch Kids almost. Try that stem. Yeah, down the hatch. So, okay, Joe, you have the Roselle? Yeah. I'm super curious now to know what the two varieties are. The one I got was from this Palm Beach Seeds company. I've got 2 packs of them actually. All the ones that were just decimated by the chickens. We had 2 survivors. I showed you the one survivor. In fact, you can see the calyxes, the flower buds. So it looks like we're going to be in. Yeah, what an amazing, that's a must-have in my opinion. And I haven't had this growing in my yard until just recently, and now I'm totally committed to it. Now, in addition, I just planted a bunch to repopulate. So I've got these growing from seeds. These are all Roselle too. Yep, I'll let those grow up a little bit longer. At the foot of papayas. Yeah, I'm experimenting more and more with that too. Planting things tightly together to see if you provide enough nutrients, how they do. And this is a good example of it. You know, just experimentation, goofy experimentation, which is mulberry, starfruit, moringa, tamarind, papaya. And you can see all the dragon fruit here. It'll look like it tipped over, but yeah, and then of course banana. But yeah, plant them all together, see what happens. I mean, why not? Here's the thing, if I have the ability to trim them, everything in my yard's gonna eat them up. Oh, the old Three Sisters setup. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you plant I've wondered about planting dragon fruit at the base of the papaya too. yeah, if you figure out what things give the things that other plants eat, like the beans with the nitrogen return to the corn and the whole, yeah, that is so cool. I need to get into that Three Sisters thing. Yeah, sure. But the way I'm starting to do that kind of thing is to just focus more on the understory here. So, you know, I don't want all canopy, and I've been also reducing the size of the canopy. I just did a major trim on this mango tree. You want to trim these things here before the hurricane shows up, like the dopey thing that I've done so many years where, oh, the hurricane's on the way, and now I got to, you know, scramble to trim things. You see all these branches and things laying around? That is me preparing for hurricanes. I get those tree limbs down. I let them rest for a while. Like these are some that I already processed. I let them rest on the ground. All their leaves fall off. I take all those leaves and I put them back in the chicken run. They serve as compost. The chickens love it. The bugs thrive under them, and the chickens eat the bugs. And then I continue to process the additional branches. This is from the Tommy Atkins. And yeah, so for mulch, sorry, we got like major plane action. For mulch, I have used a lot of mulch in the past, and I'm going to attempt to go with completely chop and drop system. But that doesn't get me out of the need to put carbon into this yard. So I mean, the mulch thing of the wood chips is still vitally important. So I'm now just occasionally getting bags of mulch, but you know, an interesting way to get the carbon in as well, like wood chips, is to, like, if you look in this, ooh, look at all those bugs. They're hard at work on that chicken bedding. That's some chicken bedding I put in there last night. So that's all wood, that's all pine chips, and that'll go into the soil. But I'm gonna go heavily with a lot of chop and drop, a lot of composting, and and also use of natural things for mulch. So I use oak leaves quite commonly for mulch because I can get those off the tree in my front yard, and I also use the mango leaves since they are so plentiful. But you got to go through this. I've learned over the years, you just let them rest, let the things fall, rake them up, and it's a real easy process. Part of this whole thing is creating, you see, they're not ready yet. They'll come right off once they're ready. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and you know, like things like banana trees, right? The chop and drop, and it builds up the land. It does so many things that you need to do. But around bananas especially, they just love that chop and drop. Oh, look at this! I'm so happy to share this moment. We've got another banana flower coming out. Quite nice. All right, I'm gonna give you the chicken cam for a second. Go over and get a special thing here. Well, I was gonna go over and grab a cool new thing I just recently got, a tool, but I almost stepped on a snake, so I figured, why not show you the snake? There he is. Black racer. Now, by the way, this is a, what do they call them, raptor style snake, the black racer, so it'll actually get up on its, get up and do that, like coil up and strike at you. They're actually pretty active, but this one I think is the one that's always in our yard. And I'm happy to report, if you can see him right there, and the black racer is not poisonous. Definitely welcome in our yard. And I'm happy to see he doesn't have any shovel marks on him. That's the bummer. Typically these guys are the victim of the shovel. The stupid shovel. They're gonna go out because they're afraid of snakes and kill a snake, or hit it with a shovel, hurt it. It's so stupid because they're so important. Such an important animal component in your yard. So to do that is just a height of stupidity. But I love to enjoy them. And we see these snakes are actually very comfortable around us now. I don't know. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Be careful I don't freak him out, but as long as I don't move fast, he'll be fine. You know, so many creatures I find in my yard now. Butterflies like crazy. Jack does a thing where he gets the butterflies to land on his hand. Oh yeah, likes that leaf pile. Get in there. Going in there, see what you can find. Now these black racers, they have a white chin. You know, that's one way to know. Yeah, it's a garden snake. Non-venomous garden snake. Definitely likely to bite you if you go to try to handle it. Does not enjoy being picked up. But other than that, you're not gonna have any issues. And look, he's right at home in those mango leaves. It's exactly where I'd expect him to be. Yeah, exactly. That snake comes, does his work, heads on out. Look at this thing. Folks, this is a green Malay coconut, and I'd love to show the progress here. It's not that long ago that I purchased this, and I have been feeding it bunny manure, and I'm very pleased with what it's doing right now. Yeah, and the baby lizards and frogs. Yeah. You know what's interesting is those baby lizards. We've got tons of those, what are they, Cuban anneli lizards around, and geckos and several other varieties. And the chickens are crazy for the baby lizards. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it. A-N-O-L-E. Yeah, annoli. But those cool lizards with the orange throat pouch that they flex out, and I just love those. And we've got several of those that are very tame now. And, you know, they're the same lizard. I mean, you can see the marks on them. Yeah, the Facebook page. I got to make a Facebook page. But the chickens, Ponzi the chicken, we were amazed. Yeah, we were amazed to see Ponzi pounce on one of those lizards and absolutely, instantly go to work killing it. Like it absolutely knew how to pin it down and peck it to death, and it was down the hatch before you even knew it. You know, that's why I say chickens will eat like barn mice. You know, they'll eat all kinds of things. In fact, a lot of people will just feed their chickens the dead barn mice on farms. They just kind of cut the mouse open, throw it into the chicken pen, and that thing is gone. Which is another reason that when you have chickens, you're probably gonna at some point have more rats. I actually saw a rat back here when I first got the chickens, but it hasn't been much of a problem. But if you poison the rats and then the chicken eats the rat, you get a problem. So, you know, anytime you got any kind of animals that you're eating from, you don't have poisons around, obviously, but certainly even to kill rats, you know, trap starts making a much better situation, especially if you feed the chickens the rat after you kill it. I don't think I would do that personally. I would bury the rat because I'm not on a farm. But if I do have a problem, I'll probably resort to traps. All right, so a couple comments went by. I'm gonna go back. A coquito nut tree. I do not have a coquito nut tree. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Flatchecks, if anything you can tell me about that tree would be much appreciated. In fact, if you just put the word coquito nut tree down in the comments, it'll trigger me to go back and research it too, because now I'm curious. Thank you. Oh no, Palm Nation, the hurricane's gonna devastate your area. Ground's so saturated, yeah, and you're inland and all the rain just pounding right up. It does look like a beast, man. Really does. I was looking at that sucker. Holy mackerel. Just a spinning buzzsaw of wind. Oh, little baby coconuts, and they taste the same. Interesting. Yeah, you see, this is a dwarf coconut tree, but you're talking about a coquito tree, which is something even smaller. That's really appealing. Wow. You know, I planted 3 of my coconut trees down by the curb, and I'm wondering if it's going to be like a, competition of who gets the coconuts first, whether the people walking by or me. But so many people in my neighborhood have coconut trees on their curbs that I think it's really not a thing. And before I had 1 coconut tree, and I could never eat all the coconuts on 1 coconut tree. So I think that's more of the problem that you run into, is not the, hey, all my coconuts. It's like, hey, what do I do with all these coconuts? Yeah, that is one of the coolest things I've heard about this week, is the coquito tree. Thank you for that, man. That absolutely appeals to me. Oh, the other thing is, I think I'm about due for, I couldn't convince my support system to be excited about buying a $60 mulberry tree, so I didn't get the Pakistani mulberry, which is fine. But I need to get a Pakistani mulberry cutting as well. The Jubia chilensis palm, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I'm definitely looking to expand the palm collection. So I appreciate that. That shout out to good ones. An obese coconut palm, the trunk's like 3 feet wide. They're crazy fat. Wow, Palm Nation, that's sick. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, all we really see around here are those regular green tall coconuts, and then from time to time you'll see the yellow Malaysian, which are really distinct dwarf coconut because it's got those yellow coconuts on it when they're young. And this being, of course, the green version of that. But, what are we looking for to know how we're doing in the palm department? Well, when we bought it, it had some spottiness on it. It had some things happening with it, which is typical in a potted environment. It was around lots of other palms, so they have all kinds of yuck on them. No worries. We plant it, we let it go, and lots of manure, lots of worm tea. And now we look to see how it's doing, and, a nice dark green. First indicator of health. The other thing is we look for spots. Any spots? Don't see any spots. Beautiful green fronds. Then we'll look for tips, burned tips. As we start to see here, as they get older, they're going to get some burned tips. But they shouldn't have any burned tips on this new growth. If they have burned tips on the new growth of the palm, we got a problem. So none of that going on. All fresh, green, vibrant, reaching up. And yeah, I can't wait to be having the coconuts raining down, so I'm going to try to dehydrate those as well. Oh, yeah, hopefully your bananas are not sucked up by a tornado. This yard has been knocked down so many times since I've lived here that I just go like, well, it's going to happen eventually. And just kind of prepare for it. Enjoy. It's just like anything. It's like enjoy it while you got it, because you're not going to get to keep any of this. That's for sure. It's all temporary, but it's all part of a cycle, right? So again, that you're doing permaculture in your yards, you're plugged into that cycle, and you can feel these changes very deeply. But yeah, the chances are you're going to have a heavy wind event right up your alley. And we've got one more that's heading east right now, west towards the state, I think. I think there's another one that just went into Mexico. So yeah, it's a bummer anywhere those show up. If that eye of that hurricane goes over, that's a game changer. A friend of mine who lived down in Homestead during Hurricane Andrew said that they used snow shovels to scoop out the CDs from their house with no roof on it. That's the harsh reality of hurricanes, is you're not preparing for that, but the people who experience that are forever changed by it for sure. Most of the time, you're going to get missed. But if that eye goes over you, you're done. Do I sell banana pups? No, I haven't been. I was thinking about starting to sell cuttings and things like that on eBay. I used to do that, sell sugarcane cuttings and things like that. I might start doing it again. Yeah, people in Veracruz were hit by Grace. Joe was saying they're hit hard by Grace. Up in the interior, all get as much needed rain. Yeah, that's the thing, is the curse and the blessing of a hurricane is that, it can be the quencher of a drought after a long period, but on the coast, you're just getting nailed. Just gonna get nailed. Southwest Tennessee. Yeah, when it's mountainous and you get all that moisture, yeah, that's not a good situation, typically. Well, brutal. Well, we'll be praying for you, man. Hope it works out okay for you. Let us know how it turns out. Yeah, these banana trees, they're the first ones to get folded over by the winds, that's for sure. And I've often thought maybe if you knew you were about to get an imminent wind situation, maybe it would make sense just to go ahead and trim off all the leaves so that you don't give it anything to grab onto. And you maybe have a chance then of the thing not being cracked in half. I've done radical trim. I have videos on the channel of, right before a big hurricane was about to go on, of just topping back all of my fruit trees way down, because I knew if I were to leave them at the height they were at during the high winds, they're just going to get cracked over in some horrible way that the tree may never recover from. And I've had that happen before. So I just go ahead and, what did they say? Sacrifice, right? That's Big Sean. Sacrifices, by the way, a seminal philosophy song, in my opinion. Sacrifices by Big Sean. Yeah, it's about making sacrifices. You look back in these, in books of philosophy and holy books, and all throughout human history, and like everybody is sacrificing. They're all, like the ancient Hebrews were sacrificing all kinds of animals. The Vikings had all kinds of sacrificial stuff. Like, there's so much sacrifice. Why are people doing this ritual? Or were they just barbaric? And of course, they weren't. It wasn't that they were barbaric. They're expressing an ideal of the necessity of sacrifice in life, and that if you don't sacrifice, you only make your problems so much worse. And there's story after story about that. That's the Cain and Abel story. That's the, gosh, you could think of 100 different versions of that story. I like the Cain and Abel version. Yeah, I'm imagining Southwest Tennessee is pretty humid. There we go. Planes pulling the banner over the beach, everybody. And you're at the beach and there's that goofy plane telling you there's crab meat at the local bar. Well, now I'm hungry for crab meat with a side of coquita nuts. I'm gonna do a quick check on the rabbits. The rabbits had a tough time with the wind event yesterday. We actually had their tarp kind of blew off. Gotta fix that today. We put these flaps down. I put this down and we open airflow. Hey there, Penelope. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, Thumps. All right, we're gonna take. It's a little hot. Nah, they're mellow. I'm not gonna disturb them. They already got their exercise this morning, so we'll get them out a little bit later on. Got my oldest son's coming over. We'll be getting those rabbits out for a lot of playtime. so hot right now that they just kind of get mellow. Rabbits love it when it gets a little cooler. I was worried that they wouldn't be able to take the heat. Same with the chickens. You know, same concerns in Mexico and Tennessee, that's for sure. Depending on where you're at. Maybe not so much at the top of a mountain. No mountains here though. Everything's humid. These sweet little hens. Yeah, the chickens know what's up. They just kind of hunker down. Well, all right. Okay, so I think I'm going to get on to the next phase of the day. I appreciate everybody jumping on. Hope you have a terrific day. Hope everything works out. Let's all have our, thoughts and prayers. Palm Nation out there. Hope you weather the storm, stronger from it, and not reduced in any way. So thanks. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to definitely stream tomorrow morning. Also, go check out Jedi Jingle Maker, my new music channel. I just covered Chet Faker's song, Talk is Cheap, and that'll be coming out this weekend. So maybe you go check that out. But Jedi Jingle Maker. I'm also shopping for Darth Vader helmets. So take that for what you will. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.